Yo, what's up, my wolf pack? Elf of the pack right here. And look, man, I wish I could say I'm happy right now, but I'm not, bro. I wish I could say I'm happy, but I'm not, bro. I'm sad. You know why? Because today is a terrible, horrible day. It's a terrible day. You know why? Because the final season of Fairy Tale just ended, bro. The final season of Fairy Tale just ended. Every day, well, every Saturday for the past year, I tuned in to Fairy Tale to watch the final season. And the last episode, episode 51, just aired like a day or two ago, and I just watched it with my wife, bruh. And I'm sad. The Fairy Tale's over, bruh. It's finally over. The main story of Fairy Tale, it's over, bruh. And I'm sad, yo. I don't got nothing to look forward to anymore. Literally, my weekend has been dedicated to watching Fairy Tale. Yeah, I watch other anime, but no anime has stuck with me, has stuck to me like Fairy Tale has, bruh. And now I don't have it anymore, bruh. And I'm sad. I'm sad, yo. And yes, I know. There's a sequel going on. There's a sequel manga happening right now. It's the 100 Years Quest, which was announced at the end of episode 51. The gang is going on a 100 Years Quest, which, if you don't know, because I did read the manga a little bit, there's currently like 34 chapters in a manga right now, and I did read the first arc, and I think it ended like on chapter 24 or something. So I read the first arc of the 100 Years Quest. I'm not going to read anymore. I'm going to wait till the story progresses a bit more. I'm not going to read 100 Years Quest again until at least two arcs are done, because the story moves at such a slow pace and not much happens in the chapters, because the story only comes out, a chapter only comes out once every 2 weeks. Bro, that's like two chapters a month. And the story just moves at a slow pace. And I know he's working on Hiro Mashima's working on 100 Years Quest, but his main focus is on Eden Zero. And Hiro's writing 100 Years Quest, but he has another guy doing the artwork for it. So, and on top of that, he's working on another manga too, I believe, called Heroes. So he's got a lot going on right now. But Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, it, it's a moving it moves at a slow pace, right? And like I said, not much happens in a single chapter, so you gotta wait 2 weeks just to see what's gonna happen. And sometimes the hype, and sometimes the chapter doesn't live up to the hype, because sometimes the chapter will end on a chapter will end on a cliffhanger and it'll be hype, but then the next chapter it doesn't really live up to the hype. So yeah, man. So I'm not gonna start reading the manga again until at least two arcs are done with, because at least then I'll have a lot to read. You know what I'm saying? But I read the first arc. I know what the overall story is about. I know what the goal is. I haven't been reading it. My main focus when it comes to hero writing lately has been Eden Zero. You know, but yeah, the overall story of 100 Years Quest is it's a job to de- it's a job to defeat five dragon gods, right? There's the water god, there's the fire god, the moon god, wood god, and gold god. It's to defeat five god dragons, right? Water, fire, moon, water, fire, moon, wood, and gold. Yeah. Wait, not gold, still metal god. Okay. That was a mistranslation. Metal god, not gold. So yeah, the 100 Years Quest. It's a job to defeat five god dragons, and so far, the story has been lit. Like I said, I read the first arc. It ended not that long ago. We're on the second arc now, and I read a little bit of the second arc, but then I stopped because I wanted a good amount of chapters to come out before I read it again. To be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna start reading the manga again like I want to, but part of me wants to wait until an anime is announced. Now, I know it's too early for that. We might not get an anime for another year or two at least. two, 3 years, maybe. Like a year too early. 2 or 3 years, maybe. We might not get an anime announcement for another 2 or 3 years. And a part of me wants to wait for that, but at the same time, another part of me wants to read the manga after a considerable amount of time passes. So I don't know. Whichever one comes first, honestly. If I feel that there's enough chapters up for me to read, I'll read it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man. Overall, even though there's a sequel coming on, even though there's a sequel going on, the 100 Years Quest, Fairy Tale, it technically ended for me, bro. I don't got nothing. I don't got nothing to look forward to on my weekends now, bro. I mean, yeah, like I said, I watch other anime, but Fairy Tale has been it. It's been it for me for the last couple of years, bro. Now it's over, and I'm sad, bro. They started playing Snow Fairy, the very first theme song of Fairy Tale, and bro, it was pulling at my heartstrings, bro. I almost cried, yo. I almost cried, yo. It's like I can't believe it's over. And I know a lot of people are complaining about the way Achnologia went out. You know, with Natsu taking um, the remaining Dragon Slayer's power and turning it into fire and killing Achnologia in with one punch. You know, that giant firefish that was created and he used to kill Achnologia in one punch. People are mad about that. Uh, to be honest, there was no logical way for Achnologia to go down. He was too strong, right? He was too powerful. I mean, he could eat magic. What could they possibly do? And on top of that, he ate the ravines of time. He ate the ravens of time, in which he was still in, and he broke out. He was even more strong. There was no way there was no possible way for them to beat them. And people are mad at the way he went out, but I'm cool with it. I was cool with it, bro. It doesn't bother me. You know, plus we got the additional Ethnologia's backstory. You know, I like that. With him snapping after the dragons destroyed his village, that was cool. I'm hoping we get a little bit more info on his backstory because there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to know about. I want to know about Ethnologia's family. I want to know why he decided to become a doctor. I want to know how he learned Dragon Slayer magic because we didn't see how Achnologia learned Dragon Slayer magic. They like skipped over that, and that was one thing I was real curious about. Did a dragon teach him Dragon Slayer magic, or did he find some other way to acquire it? They didn't include that in his backstory. They was just like, oh, he was a doctor. He lived in a village that coexisted with dragons, and he would heal the dragons. And then one day, the dragon who he was, I don't know, I guess friends with, or this original dragon was named Achnologia. Achnologia, his real name isn't Achnologia. He took the dragon's name. So we also don't know what Achnologia's. Wow, that's confusing. Blue-haired Achnologia. He took the dragon's name, White Dragon Achnologia. He took that name. All right, and so we don't know blue-haired Achnologia's real name. That's something else we need to know, right? So we didn't really get that much info about blue-haired Achnologia because we just found out he was a doctor. He lived in a village that coexisted with dragons, but then white dragon Achnologia find out that there were people who learned how to who learned how to use magic that could kill dragons. So he went to investigate, came back with a bunch of other dragons, destroyed the village, killed everybody. Achnologia survived, and then he just snapped. Like that was it. And then Achnologia just became obsessed with killing dragons, and he became the monster we know today. Like that said, we don't know anything before that. We don't know what Achnologia was like as a child. We don't know about his family. We don't even know his name. We just know that Achnologia took Dragon Achnologia's name. And I feel like we need to know more about Achnologia. But, yeah, man. But, overall, man, I'm just I'm sad that Fairy Tale's over, bro. I'm sad that the main story is over because I don't got nothing to look forward to now, bro. There's nothing I can dedicate my weekend to because every Saturday I would just wait for Fairy to come out and I would watch with my wife before I head to work. And now there's nothing, you know. Nothing can fill the void of Fairy Tail for me because Fairy Tail is it surpassed my love for any other anime that I had. And it's gone, and I'm sad, bruh. I'm sad. Cause like I said earlier, today is a terrible, horrible day. But yeah, man, that's basically it. Uh, yeah, the episode ended with Natsu announcing that they're gonna go on a 100 years quest, and that was the end. You know, Lucy, Lucy won a novel for writing a book. That was basically it. That was the gist of the episode. Besides them defeating Achnologia with Natsu taking Wendy's sting, with Natsu taking Wendy's sting, rogues, Cobra and Laxus and Gajeel's power, turning into fire, and just throwing it at Achnologia. Um, that was basically it, and I enjoyed it. I know the dub is actually like 5 episodes behind, so the dub won't end for like another month. But as of today, the sub ended, so technically that means Fairy Tail's over, and I'm sad, bro. Yeah, man, that's all I gotta say. Peace out, my wolf pack. Your alpha has spoken. I'm gonna have to try to find something to fill this Fairy Tail void. Peace. It's a horrible day, bro. I'm sad. Oh, and I almost forgot. I almost forgot. Hiro Mashima, thank you for creating Fairy Tail. I love Fairy Tail with all my heart. No anime has ever connected with me. No anime has ever connected with me like Fairy Tail did. So, Hiro Mashima, you're a goat, bruh. Thank you for this amazing journey that you created. Thank you for creating Fairy Tail. Bruh, this is your fault, Hiro. This is your fault. Peace.